Howdy, folks. We are back with Cats and Catacombs. Um, we are bringing you another fundraiser today, so that is definitely the wrong chat. No idea where I typed that into, but here we are. And that fundraiser is still for Asada's daughters. So if we hit specific levels, we'll start giving away merch from Black content creators, a couple of t-shirts, some Swords Fall swag, here to stay. Magical Girls and Mechas, which is a tabletop role-playing game, and it looks amazing. So I'm really excited to actually buy that one for myself, but different story. Other than that, so you've come to Dice Priori Community Theater. I'm going to let my beautiful cast introduce themselves and give you the rest of the boring updates, and then we'll get into playing this game. Chris, do you want to go ahead and go first?
Hi, guys. I'm Chris, and I'm an old friend of Matthew Foreman's, who I love, and I'm so happy that I found Dice Priori last year. I'm celebrating my 1-year anniversary of playing D&D with Dice Priori. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Taft Sings. We were linked with the Dice Priori today. I'm on Facebook page for my acting and singing at Christopher Taft Official, or type in Christopher Taft Actor Artist. And I'm on SoundCloud with Chris Taft Sings if you want to listen a little bit. I'll be posting new projects throughout the summer. And I'll be playing a rogue today. Do you want to go, Shad?
All right.
My name is Shad. This is going to be my first time playing with Dice Priori, but I'm not a stranger to stream one-shots and campaigns. I've been playing for over a year for D&D, and I just passed my 1-year anniversary with playing with my main D&D group, even though we're on hiatus. I am playing Pockus, the furious feline from the Northern Mountains. I'm a small-time map maker and just a general forever player. You can find me on Twitter by Shadamura, and I don't use any other social media other than that.
Perfect. Then I think that sends us to Jeff.
Hello, I am Jeff. You can find me on Twitter as Cold Brew Crit. I'm on a bunch of Discord servers, so I'm around. And yeah, today I'm playing Fancy Feast, the Warlock. And yeah, this is my whole second stream with Dice Priori after last week's fierce rap battle with Summit of Kings. And yeah, glad to be back.
Where he was playing, he did an amazing job. The whole group did, but he did an amazing job. He's here, so we'll say he's our favorite for now. And then Star.
Yeah, hi, I'm Star. You can find me on Twitter at MadRadStarChild. Today I will be playing as Salmon, the monk, and sometimes I stream on other places as well. I will be doing a Masks Pride game this month. It's kind of a series. There's going to be 8 sessions. So follow me on Twitter for that. And then I will also be playing in another Pride game called Gamer Girls. It's about magical mermaids. So I will try to keep posting updates about those.
Mermaids. That sounds awesome. So that is our cast and crew today. And we'll get into introducing our cats here in a second. I think what we're missing is some mood music here. For now. I think that's playing. I can't hear it. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, perfect. Whew. And some of our other announcements, make sure that you're keeping track of our socials. You're welcome to join our Discord so you get the latest updates on what we're doing, what we're bringing to you guys, and what we're playing. As always, go help our friends over at Animal Helper. They support animals in need, especially special needs animals that have diabetes or are tripods or any number of things. And right now they are flooded with animals. So if you're in the New Orleans area, they can use fosters. Go share their stuff on Facebook. Donate if you can. I know money's tight and we're talking about a lot of donations today, but they're also amazing. And then other than that, we are doing our donations for Asada's Daughters. Let me read you exactly what they do from their website so that I don't get it wrong. Asada's Daughters is a Black, women-led, young person-directed organization rooted in the Black radical tradition. Asada's Daughters organizes young Black people in Chicago by providing them with political education, leadership development, mentorship, and revolutionary services. Through our programs, we aim to deepen, escalate, and sustain the movement for Black liberation. They are an amazing organization. They've been doing stuff with the protests. Go check them out. Volunteer if you can. Donate today. Oh, thank you, Miwa. Our first donation towards it, because all bits go towards this as well. And then I think that is all I have. Are we ready? Okay. So you only get to listen to me talk for a little bit longer, and then we'll pass it back over. Okay. Gotcha. So. You guys find yourselves on the road as you've been traveling together for some time. And along this road, you start to see farms and fields. What used to be a gorgeous landscape, but on the edges of these fields, you're starting to see that the earth is drying out, almost like a drought. But from the damp clothes and ever-clinging fur, you guys are very familiar that it's been raining on and off for the last month. So as you're traveling along, coming up to the call of this particular mayor in town, what do you guys look like, and what are you doing on the road?
I shall go first. Polycus is adorned in fangs, leather, and fur. Some exotic, some common, but he does not distinguish. But he is a cat of simple needs and simple wants.
So as this cat of simple means and simple wants gets distracted by a ball of string that has fallen out of someone else's pocket, what are the rest of you doing?
Tabby Hunter is a cat on the lam, if you will. He ran away from Master for now. Might go back later. Doesn't really feel like it at the moment. To find some adventure on his own. He don't need no man.
My kind of cat.
Fancy Feast is a gray Persian cat, and he's clothed in, well, you can use that term loosely, like he's got a robe, sort of like a one piece, with his paws sticking out, 100% adorable, but also very fancy. The most notable thing about him is that on his back, in what is sort of like a harness, is a baby dragon turtle that is who is his patron, and he is a fierce protector of this friend of his.
Awesome. And then I think
And
that
is-
leaves Salmon.
Salmon is a regular tabby. Sharp claws, stripes, some spots here and there, a little bit chunky, and very chill.
Okay. My computer didn't cut out, did it? Because everything's telling me that my computer is about to freak out and crash. You guys can still see me? I'm still moving? Okay. Perfect. So we'll just hope. So as these four are ambling down this road and moving towards town, you're seeing the earth is drying out, cracking and splitting into slabs of parched wilderness. You'd say there was a drought, but as I said, as you know, it's been raining for weeks. And as you come into town, most towns are warm and inviting, places of safety and family, pets and treats. But as you travel into this town, there's a sense of almost palpable in the air, that sense of worry. When people are walking down the street, they have their head down to the ground. Mothers bringing their children in closer. You don't hear birds in the air, keeping their normal cacophony of the marketplace. And what are you guys doing as you come into town?
I'm just batting along in the ball yarn. Sort of like a kid with a soccer ball. Just looking around.
Can I see, do the people look like they might be scared? That they're keeping their heads down and away from something above, or?
It's just the sensation of there's worry and unrest, not so much that there's a fear of immediate attack from anything. You know that the mayor has sent a call out for heroes at large, mercenaries, to help them with whatever is trying to dry up the earth. And go ahead and roll me. Roll me perception or history. Anyone who'd like to.
Well, it won't be me, because I got a natural 1 on the first roll.
It's going to be a good day.
I will roll perception.
Got a hole of a 7.
I got a hole of an 8.
Ooh. Okay. So the mayor's called you to this town, and he's looking for adventurers.
Salmon is like ambling up and like stops and like licks their paws and like lifts up their back leg and like licks their stomach and is like, is this like an urgent thing?
I mean, you're cats, so maybe not, but...
It's continuing to rain on us.
A little bit. It's starting to pick up a drizzle again.
I don't like this. And we're planning on getting inside once we arrive at the mayor's place. The quicker the better we get out of this rain. I don't like it.
So even with your natural 1, especially with the 4 of you traveling together, you're able to pick out pretty much the largest place in town. It's the tavern, town hall, mayor's office, might have a brig in the basement. You're really not sure. and kind of an all-in-one for this small town. You're able to locate that relatively quickly. Is that where you head?
Sure.
Ruckus goes where the group goes.
Okay. So as you get to this main room, yeah, I think that'll be a good one. You end up with this kind of large chatter that hits you all at once. As you open those main doors, you think everyone who wasn't outside and cowering away from whatever is happening is now inside this tavern. It feels like there's 300 people in here. If you're not careful, you're going to get stepped on. And everyone is talking. Some of them at each other, some of them across the room, some of them at some guy that's standing on like this small little raised platform that could have been a stage at one point for 2 or 3 musicians. And it's absolutely utter chaos.
I would like to skirt around the room to get closer to the mayor to see if I could hear anything he says.
Okay. Let's go for perception again.
All right. +1. I got a 15.
Okay. So, as you get closer to where that platform is, you're hearing this guy who has this tubby stomach and suspenders that are coming over it that are strained to their fullest, holding these pants up. And his cheeks are all red with his handlebar mustache. And he's got a hat that used to fit on his head straight, but is just to the side now. And it's there. You're not entirely sure what's holding it on, but it's there. And at one point there was a jacket that went along with these suspenders, but it's long been thrown over the back of the chair behind him as he's up on his feet trying to bluster these folks into listening to him. No, you here. See, calm down. We're going to do something. Oh, if you guys could just slow down for 1 minute. I need everyone to be quiet. And just the room is ignoring him as he's trying to get people to settle down.
I'd back up just a little bit. I'm certain about the chaos going on. Uckus isn't sure. Do you guys have any ideas to calm this down?
Perhaps I could get their attention by compelling the elements to serve our cause. And mechanically, Fancy Feast would begin sort of these motions as he stirs up the cantrip Gust to start kind of trying to ripple through as a breeze, not harmfully, not enough to like pick people up and slam them in the ceiling, but sort of get everybody to stop bickering, hopefully.
Okay. And when Gust is its full, at its full capacity, does it ever do harm, or is it just moving wind? I'm not familiar with the spell.
Yeah, so somebody could, I could move a medium or smaller creature if I targeted one person. They'd have to make a strength save or be pushed all of 5 feet. But nothing is pushed with enough force to cause damage.
Gotcha. So,
Shall we go for a little fly? Just a little trick of some kind?
we could. What do you have in mind?
I want to scamper up a pole with my climbing speed being unimpacted as a little goblin-y thief cat. And I'm going to ready myself for whatever gust that Fancy Feast has ready.
Okay, and you're going to use it for your own thing. All right. So go ahead and roll me a dexterity here, and we'll play this out. So since you guys have been traveling for a while, you recognize the spell that Fancy is putting out. And it's most of you take a step back to give him room to move the air and catch people's attention. Tabby scampers off to get higher ground. And being on the back of a chair here, this Gus starts picking up speed, and any papers that were on the ground, a little bit of dirt from the floor, crumbs that have been picked up, start to build up in this little gust that he's going to start moving around. How did that dexterity?
14.
14. Okay, what would you like to do as he moves this gust around the room?
I want to give my a somersault off of the chair and land right in front of, presumably, the mayor who's speaking.
Okay. As this gust, and so using the gust kind of as like a springboard over people, or?
Jet propulsion.
Gotcha. Perfect. So, as exactly that happens, the room kind of gets really confused for a second and slightly gets louder, and then completely shuts down, kind of saloon style. Cards get put back on table, tankards are sat down. The mayor is even looking at this orange tabby cat in front of him with a bit of a curious glance, and then immediately starts looking around the room because nobody is talking for once in the weeks that he's been trying to get their attention. And he looks at you and goes, "You're a peculiar one. Can I help you?"
I just kind of sidle along next to him and sit down, facing the crowd. We heard we were of use or necessary to help.
You've hearkened the call. Is there anyone with you? And he starts
Hawkins is
looking around the room.
here. Ow.
I summon my feline companions.
I'm out back deeply and join him.
I'll slink up casually.
And
I will prance.
Awesome.
I am leaping
Fancily.
and bounding.
So as you guys are going past, not quite knocking the knees of all of these bystanders, but kind of like when you run through corn, you can see from above where it widens out. Same thing happens with this crowd. It creates just enough of a bow in the bottom that you guys can get through without much hassle. And the mayor goes, "Oh, you guys look like fine adventurers." And he kind of looks out at the crowd, glares at them, and then looks back at you. Are you here to help us?
We're always happy to lend a paw wherever it would do the most good, noble mayor.
Well, I quite like you. So I'm assuming that you guys read the rest of the summons.
We could use a refreshment on the details.
We've got ourselves a beastie in the woods. As you came through town, I'm sure you noticed there's no rats or birds. They've all gone, except when we venture out to do something. And he kind of motions over to a small man that has his arm all bandaged, and he has his bandage over one eye, with his head wrapped in the most comical style. As you see there, Bobby Joe, he went out into the woods to pick some flowers, and look at what happened. We have a problem, and it's not getting any better, and I don't know if it's related or not, but the farms are going bust. Why do you think everyone's here? They don't have any work to do. We need to do something.
Hawkins says, then we shall take care of this beastie. tilts his head for a moment before saying the word. Ensure everybody is safe and sound this morning.
Well, that would be mighty fine. We were. There was a couple that came through here not 24 hours ago. I thought they were going to be the answer to our needs here, but they've not returned, and we're not sure what's going on. And as you see, it created quite a hullabaloo. And the crowd behind you starts, yeah, what happened to them? Kind of in the background, heckling.
And we shall find them and find out what went wrong.
Well, if you come back and you can tell us that this is taken care of, there's something in it for you. So if you travel out, I'll point you in the direction and good luck.
Thank you. That would be lovely.
Might I inquire before we depart, has anyone actually laid eyes on this beastie? Is there any sort of useful information we should know? Like, what are we looking for other than something perhaps that might have a rat or a bird stuck in his teeth?
Well, old Margie Sue, she tried to explain it to me, but her ramblings, I just don't know. I don't understand them. She's the only one not in this room. You can find her in her own cottage right at the edge of the forest, right the direction you need to be going.
We shall ask Margie Sue.
Yes, what a conveniently located source of exposition.
These adventurers who might already have gone seeking this beast, do we know their specialty or their names?
Well, they told us their names were John and Catherine, I think. And John was a strapping middle-aged man covered in the shiniest armor you've ever seen in your life. Not quite sure what he was doing here, but he said something about his honor, and off he went. Catherine, she was a little more reserved, and quite the pretty woman. Pale purple eyes. So pretty. And she had the air of power, and was not sure what her specialties were, though.
We'll keep an eye out for them.
Yeah. I imagine that John went headfirst into something, and she couldn't quite get him out of it.
Well, not everyone is quite as resourceful or slippery as a cat.
That's fair. I still don't know where old Fergus went.
Shall we look for this Fergus too while we're at it?
Oh no, that scoundrel, he's been gone for years.
Years. When did this beastie's reign of terror begin in your fine town?
And you kind of hear from the crowd, they all kind of yell different numbers at you. 3 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 8 days ago. And the mayor kind of looks over the crowd he's that meme with all of the numbers around him, as he's staring, trying to do the math. Maybe about 2 months ago, the first field went fallow and barren, right at the edge of the forest.
But we certainly can't have this beastie bothering all these tasty little canaries.
A
It's
worthy
adorable.
foe to make battle with.
Yes. I think you guys are just the 4 cats we need for the job. And he will give you each a regular potion of health.
Let's see. I'm thinking.
I thank you for this generosity. I'm sure it will come in handy as we do what mere men cannot.
Alrighty, off you go, and he'll give you a crude map of this forest and where Bobby Joe was attacked and where did we call her Margie Sue? I already forgot her name. The lady with all the mystic woman for the town. Probably get rid of the carnival noises here.
We
So,
seek Margie Sue.
okay. I still can't type. So as you go through the town, it's the same gloomy atmosphere as before. Not really. And as you exit the end of the town, it starts to get even worse. And you come across this small hut, and she has she's got a small garden. It's a very well appointed little one room building with thatched roof, with straw and flower garden around the door, nice vegetable and fruit garden to the side. Everything seems to be thriving inside the confines of her little space. But when you look outside of it, you go back to that cracked, dry, unnaturally um, foreboding lands that you see outside of where she is in her domain. Do you knock on the door?
I'll
Are there
knock
any
on the door.
The rogue was going to ask if there are any windows open.
There are definitely windows, and of course there is one right off of. You see the chimney has its own smoke coming out of it. There's definitely someone home, and a pie on the windowsill with it just cracked so that pie can cool.
Fancy Feast will scratch his claws on the post of the door first and then look back and say, "Well, shall we find out whether this woman has the greenest thumb among mortals, or is there some sorcery at work?"
Let's not leave any leaf unturned.
I check the garden for cucumbers.
There are no cucumbers in this garden.
Thank
There's
goodness.
peppers and a small barrel of strawberries. If you're looking throughout the whole property, there's an apple tree in the back, maybe a pear tree. But her garden is vibrant and full of colors. There's honeybees and grasshoppers, worms digging through the earth. It's got that healthy smell of um, like that crushed grass smell as you're walking through it. And if you're not too careful and you catch a flower, get a scent of lavender and lilies.
So strange to see so much flora when the rest of the countryside is so bare.
It sure is.
Guess I'll see his back. This doesn't seem usual. Perhaps we should check inside.
There certainly could be magic involved.
Do you still want to knock?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So with your paws, how do you go ahead and knock on this door? Just bat at it?
Yeah, I'll like have my claws out so it's more like a scratching at the door.
Um, and so is anyone else approaching the door with Salmon?
I would like to headbutt the door.
Headbutt
Not
the
very
door.
hard, just
Perfect.
enough to be noticeable.
I'm gonna back up, go around the other side, and jump on that windowsill with the pie.
Very good. Very good. So as those who are approaching the door are approaching, if you want to hide, go ahead and roll me stealth on that windowsill. If you're not trying to hide or sneak, then don't worry about it. We'll come back to that in a second. So as you guys are, or as you three are coming up and approaching the door, and you go to headbutt it and bat at it to get their attention, it is thrown open by the most vibrant old lady you've ever met in your life. She's got every color under the sun as part of her clothing. She jingles just a little bit when she moves from her necklaces and bracelets that may or may not have been macaroni from kids that have come through her town and learned from her in an afternoon. She gives off the exact opposite energy of the town. She is happy and bubbly and just so glad to see you. And she has a staff with a globe at the top of it that she uses to walk around her home. Oh, I've been looking for you guys. Thanks for coming by. You gonna come in for, some biscuits and a bit of a saucer of milk?
And Fancy Feast is just mesmerized by her earrings and her necklaces, like the bells jingling. He just kind of says nothing except kind of stares, and follows her with his eyes. If the earrings like jingle at all, he's just can't get enough.
I'm gonna like bristle a tiny bit, like, why were you expecting us?
Well, there's always adventurers coming when there's danger in the woods.
So you're aware of the danger.
Oh, yes, it's just nothing that I can do for it. I can only protect what I have here and help the villagers as they come through. Do you see what happened to little Bobby Joe?
Yes, what a comical attempt at first aid with this head wrapping. It was simply outrageous.
Oh, he did that on his own. He wanted more sympathy than he needed. I fixed him right up. He's fine.
I meant no slight to you, madam, I assure you. I was simply, yes, and he's just watching the earrings. I'm sorry, what were we saying?
You guys have come out to help us with the Necromouncer.
So it would seem.
Yeah, there's one such as yourselves. I don't know if he caught himself in this shape or if he started out this way, but yeah, there's a cat in the woods turning rats into zombies and stealing the life from our land.
Sounds like a stray.
Certainly not a natural born feline. That's unthinkable.
Well, you and I agree on one thing there. So, and as you come into her home, it's just this slightly larger than you would imagine a single room home would be, but her bed's in a corner covered in just the most outlandish um, quilts that look just as soft as they are garish. With her rocker by a fireplace with a pot over it, and a smaller kettle swinging to the side that she picks up with a, a homemade knit pot holder and pours this warm milk into saucers um, that are large enough for the four of you, and sets out this small plate that's got a chip in one corner that has been used for forever, but has this like gold leaf on the edges, and you can smell that they're fresh, caught just fish cakes, in little bite-sized quantities that she sets out for you. Come in, join us.
I'm going to jump the rest of the way into the cottage through the window.
Are you with them? And come on in. You didn't disturb my pie, did you?
Kind of like sniff around the room and like jump up on the bed and like knead my paws a little bit on the soft quilt, and then like sniff the milk and lick it once, and then like look at her suspiciously, and then drink my bowl of milk.
Okay. So, do you guys have any other questions? And she kind of sits down with her tea and picks up her crochet.
How is it that your garden is so beautiful during this time of year when everywhere else in the countryside seems like a barren wasteland?
Well, you don't get as old as I am without learning a few tricks and keeping a green thumb.
I'm gonna roll insight on that.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, adjusted 10. I'm clearly still distracted by her jewelry.
And it doesn't help that as the jewels of the jewelry start to catch the light from the window as she rocks back and forth and creates that like disco effect. And if anyone is trained in Arcana, go ahead and roll me that.
Bacchus is just helping himself to the fish cakes and the milk, and I just realized I was muted for a good while.
Sorry about that.
I don't know.
All
That
of
was my fault.
Arcana.
Did you roll worse on Arcana than you did on your insight?
No, I rolled a natural 10 for a 12, but
Okay.
just getting all the bad rolls out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys are talking with this lady, you get that distinct insight and instinct that she's the healer and mystic of this particular town for as long as she wants to be, and the earthly energy that comes from her, and as you're sniffing around her staff and the bauble on top, you recognize that she is a very, very old druid. And it's just here, you could delve into her history if you really wanted to, but she's been around for a long time. She's only going to be here for as long as she wants to be, and then she'll move on to her next cottage.
We are going after this strange cat in the woods that you've encountered before. Would you be able to help us in our journey?
Well, what kind of help are you looking for?
Well, sniffing around on this beautiful staff you have, I think you may be a powerful type of woman. Would you be able to bestow any blessings upon us?
It's a great question. I walked right into that trap. um, uh, Well, certainly. I have the milk and treats out for you guys if you want any. That'll keep you fed for the next 24 hours and give you a bit of a boost here for the next hour or so. And give you enough time to get through, get at least down to where this guy's lair is at.
What about that fresh pie in the window? Could we get a
Oh,
slice?
that's for the mayor. He's so stressed out right now. The town folk don't necessarily listen to him. He's just a bunch of a blunderbuss.
But the mayor isn't going off to slay a monster for you.
I mean, well, and she kind of brings her crochet down for a second and uh, drops a little bit of this super friendly facade as she radiates that quiet power that you've seen before in your adventures. Maybe not often, but every once in a while you come across a person that's quiet in their power. And she kind of looks at you and goes, well, as much as I'm sure that pie smells delicious, there's nothing in it for you. It's just a pie. Now, if you were listening, there's some fish cakes and milk in your future.
Tabby is gonna sit back and wait and watch anybody else that wants to eat and drink.
I was already drinking the milk.
Puck has already finished the milk. Just laying there content, like belly up.
Do they seem to be doing okay?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, anybody that's drinking the milk and eating the fish cakes, you've got a nice, warm, healthy glow. And you feel yourself gain 8 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Fancy
take my-
will daintily drink the milk.
I'll take my fish cakes to go.
Perfect. So yeah, anyone who partakes in her food has 8 extra hit points to start with. And from a mechanical place, I stole a bit of, I think it's Bless that does that. But yeah.
That 1d4 out.
Yeah. So, and as she goes back to her crochet, she closes her eyes and continues rocking back and forth. And you see her kind of start to nod off as you guys are eating. But she's still crocheting, even with her eyes closed. She's got that crochet down.
Can we try to jump in her lap?
You certainly can. She's if you try to do that, she kind of sticks her knees out a little farther so her lap's a little bigger and moves the crochet to the side. Continues crocheting.
I'm just taking a look at that yarn.
It's locally sourced yarn. Well, if there's nothing else that you need from me, then you should probably be on your way, huh?
At that mention, Pockets pops up and hops off the bed and just begins to roam around. His attention span is pretty much shot now. Wow. Traveler! Yes, go.
She starts to snore as she's rocking back and forth, still running her crochet, just snoring.
So
Did I
she's
miss where she was
asleep?
pointing us in the right direction?
Yeah, she gave you guys, she verified the same thing the mayor gave you, and pointed you towards specifically a cave that has that she said. She didn't actually say anything. She just pointed out a cave on the map.
Oh, very good. On our way out, the thief is going to try to take that pie.
Okay. Roll for stealth to get to the pie and then sleight of hand to take it. So double here.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Now sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
21.
The most important roles in the game.
They
got my
sure
pie.
are. You have a pie. And not so much as a hiccup in her snoring as you guys leave.
Stow it. In my haversack.
It's gonna be
Pie
one
to go.
jumbled pie.
Pie to go.
Pie to go.
This is the
All right.
secret Chekhov's gun.
Anything else you guys want to do before you head off into the forest towards this cave? No? Okay. Then we'll move it along here. As you guys are leaving her place in the warmth of her fields and flowers, you travel down this road that becomes less of a road and more of a deer trail, following the bit of the map and instructions that the two of them have given you. As you're walking along, you still are missing the sound of birds and squirrels, but those have been replaced by the scampering of feet and just the rustle of leaves as this chill wind goes through the trees. As you guys approach this cave, this almost cartoonish mist starts to come along the edges of the forest and entrench the front of this cave from your vision.
Marcus will be up in front.
I'll be next.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stealth my way towards the cave.
Okay. Go for it. Are we all stealthing or is it just
Stealth.
Tabby?
I will try my hand at stealth.
Okay.
As would I. Before I go in, though, I would cast Mage Armor on myself.
Natural
Okay.
20 for a total of 22.
Okay, so we have 122 stealth. What did Tabby get?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about
back at-
Salmon?
9.
No problem. And the mage armored fancy feast.
At last, a natural 19, bringing me up to a 22.
Okay. So, as you guys as a group are able to successfully keep Salmon from stepping on that twig and announcing to the rest of the forest where you're at, you come up to the front of this cave. Do you peer into it?
Sure.
And
Marcus
then
will be in.
remind me here. How far do you guys have dark vision, if at all?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
60 feet.
Gotcha. Perfect. So as you guys come up to this cave, stick your little paws all in a row as the tallest one of you is at the top and kind of peek around the corner. You see this round and extremely solidly built room. So as you're looking into it, this room has history, and this wasn't always just a cave. The floor is cobbled and the vines have grown in. There's some debris from old wood furniture that used to be in this room. And it is absolutely hand or paw made. It's been several years since anyone has cleaned it or maintained it, but it is just a stone dwelling of some sort.
Fancy just shudders at the filth and can kind of, he's just bristling and trying so hard not to step on all this grossness.
I'd like to look for any tracks coming in or out.
Okay.
August will keep an eye on everyone, looking around the room for any possible threats.
Do I see any cat paws?
So let's go ahead and show you what the room looks like here. So as you look into this room and you see this space, it is vaguely glowing from the sides from orbs that are partially ethereal. And they're strung together with this thick copper cabling and crude metal clamps. And as you venture in, you guys see that this used to be part of a building that's been disguised as a cave. And as you come in, you recognize the distinct features of a church or other church. Some people would see it as a temple, a house of worship.
Do we know where in this room might have been the altar or the centerpiece of this temple?
As you look up, this room domes upwards to what used to be what's the word I'm looking for? Little glass dome that would let in sunlight and light up the room normally. From experiences with locations like this in the past, you would assume that the center was where any altar or other table would be set up with pews or seating in a circle, concentric out to the edge. Are you guys going in?
I will skip to the room, but wait for the others.
I'll go in.
These
Okay.
These are crystals, these 6 things.
So they're above where you can actually reach to them. But you could try and climb the wall and take a closer look.
I want to investigate one of the crystals, maybe this one on the right here.
Okay, roll me a dexterity check to make sure you can actually get up the wall, since it is old and crumbling.
15?
Okay, that absolutely lets you make it. So as you get up to this thing, you see what looks like a thin glass orb, probably about half the size of one of you, that has this blue fog on the inside that you can't quite tell what it is, but it's roiling and it moves as you're watching it. Very mesmerizing. Doesn't have any particular smell. The smell of the room is really all you get. That slight damp, musky, overgrown moss kind of smell, especially as you're crushing the moss coming up the side of the wall. And most of the light from the room is coming from these orbs.
Bacchus sniffs around. I don't like this room.
Do they all seem to be giving off an even amount of light, or is there one that seems to be more prevalent?
No, they all give off about the same amount of light. And as the blue fog on the inside twists and turns, the light changes as you're looking at it. Did I go out? Yeah, was it just my video?
Yeah, I can still hear you, Liz.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. My Zoom did something crazy like half an hour ago, but it was still running. Rob, can you see me? Okay. What would you like to do? Because I'm assuming you're not part of the recording, so no one can see you or hear you. Okay. Alrighty, so folks, we're gonna take a 2.5 minute break so that my tech gremlins can be fixed. I think I just need to shut Zoom and open it back up because it's the only thing that's frozen. So I shall return. Give me one moment, guys. I can move again. So no stream would be complete without a tech gremlin or two. So welcome back if you're just joining us in. Our adventurers just got to the first room in the Necromeoncer's lair, and they're exploring. So what were we trying to do here?
Buckus is just over there in the room, sniffing around.
Gotcha. And you had looked at the orb, realized that it's bringing light to the room, and it has fog on the inside. What else would you guys like to do?
You mentioned the wires or whatever connecting these orbs.
Yeah,
Are any of them hanging down low enough that I could paw at them?
Yeah, absolutely. You could pull on any of the wires. Are you trying to discern anything or just play with them?
Oh, just play with them.
Okay, perfect. So if you pull on any of the wires too hard, one of the globes will rock a little bit. Not enough to pull it down, but definitely they're connected.
May I examine the center of the room, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me an investigation if you're going to touch it.
I will walk over to the center of the room. Eight.
Okay. So as you reach the center of the room, as you're stepping across these stone tiles, you feel like one may have given a little more than the others, but when you go to try and pull up that tile, it's just dirt floor underneath it. You find nothing. It's floor and tiles.
Buckus would like to go to the center.
Okay. Now, you looking for anything as well?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
His curiosity is getting the best of him. He's looking for anything that stands out.
Okay, then roll me perception.
+1. 16.
16. So, as you are walking towards the center of the room, you noticed what others haven't so far, is the sound of these, what's the word I want to use? That's a terrible word. Moist paws as they slap down on the edges of stone and what you can only imagine is more of this cable wiring as they're running towards you. If everyone could roll me initiative.
We expect friends, but I don't think they will be friends. That's not a natural 20.
Okay, hang on. I will ask for thingamabobs here in a second. I gotta... Yeah, put yourselves in the room wherever you're gonna be.
I believe we walked to the center, did we not, Paucus?
Okay, you guys, where you're at? Yeah? Okay,
Oh yeah, still playing with wires.
perfect. Alrighty, so, yeah. Alrighty, anyone get me a 25 to 20?
20 for Pockus.
Okay. 15 to 20?
19 for Tabby Hunter.
Okay. 15 to 10?
14 for Fancy Feast.
Okay. And how did Salmon do?
8.
8.
I've rolled 10, 9, 8, so I'm going down. It's great.
Okay. You know what? It's better than not at all, right? So as you guys come into the room, you guys are all surprised besides Pockus. And these rats are able to kind of materialize themselves out of the walls and away from the stones of this room. Yeah, that's the right music. Okay, good. And Pockus gets to go first.
Pockus lets out the mightiest mountain roar. With his bonus action, he's going to rage and strike out at the rat in front of him.
Okay, go for it.
That would be a 22.
A 22, that'll hit.
For 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay.
And I believe I only get 1 attack right now, so that... I would try to skirt around him and be more the center of attention.
Okay.
After I take a good dash and swipe at the one in front of me. That concludes Pockus' turn.
One in front of you, and you said 9 damage?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so as you reach out and scratch at this first zombie rat, you make him reel just a little bit. Tabby, your turn with Fancy Feast on deck.
I'm wondering if I can sidle up next to Paucus and try to get sneak attack on this guy.
You sure can.
All right. Tabby gets out his rapier, his fine rapier, and 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. Seven damage
7 damage. Perfect.
on Mr.
Ooh.
Rat.
And this guy isn't looking too hot. Is that your turn?
With my bonus action, I'm gonna try to hide behind Hawkus. I'm a small cat.
Roll to hide.
Very good. 15.
15. Okay, I'll remember that. And is that your turn?
That's my turn.
All right, Fancy Feast, you're up, and then the larger Necrat.
Hawkins
Behind.
is a hefty cat. He will easily hide behind him.
There you go.
Fancy Feast looks at this rat that's directly across from him and just again shudders and says, "Oh, you filthy creature," and will extend a paw and fire off an eldritch blast in its direction.
Okay, and which one are we gonna try and hit? One at
Due
the bottom here?
west, straight
Perfect.
across. Yeah.
Go
And
for it.
unfortunately, that was a natural 3. Don't think an 8 is gonna do it.
On one of those baddies? Actually, yeah, that'll hit. That just hits.
Oh wow.
The
Okay.
armor class is 8. Yeah.
Whew. And then this is going to be powerful, hopefully. Yeah, so that brings me up an 8 on a die with a +3 for my powerful blast. Takes it to 11 points of force damage.
Okay, 11 points of force damage on that one. Ooh, he is not a happy zombie rat. Is that your turn?
Yeah, maybe as a bonus action, I'll swat at the wires.
Play with the wires some more
Yeah.
while you're
Oh, yeah.
distracted, but useful.
Yeah, no need to move.
Alrighty. Perfect. So, as you guys are coming into this little guy here, you see that the lighter colored with these dark markings on their chests start to move forward, and they will work together here. And I have to be smarter than my thing. 5, 10, 15, 20, and he's going to move up. Yeah. Move up. And then 5, 10, 15, 20. Up. And they will all try to take bites at you. Whichever one is closest to them. So, Tabby, you're hidden technically, aren't you? Paucus, 2 of these are going to try and take a bite at you, and then one is going to bite at Salmon. So, that is a 9 to hit, Paucus.
Miss.
That is a 18 to hit, Paucus.
That does it.
Okay, you'll go ahead and take 6 points of damage
Half
from that bite.
That half because of rage. So 3.
Okay, you raged with your bonus action?
Very first thing I did.
Perfect. I missed it. I apologize. And then...
To be fair, I missed my rage damage. So it should have been a 11, not a 9. So I think we're even.
Perfect. I'll add those 2 points. No harm, no foul. And let's see, that's 18 plus 5 is 23 to hit there, Salmon.
Yep, that'll hit.
And you also take 5 points of bite damage. And so as these foul-smelling little beasties come up, each one takes a bite at whoever they can reach out to now that you've disturbed their space. And their little nips come up and pierce whatever parts of you they can reach. And that That is their turn. Salmon, what would you like to do?
Oh, I will pull out my short sword and attack the little rat in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And that is 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I can bonus action unarmed strike, right?
I believe so as a monk.
As a monk? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do that as well.
Punch him with your other hand.
Yep. Ooh, natural
Or other
20, 25.
That'll hit.
And that is 5 points of damage.
Ooh. So as you reach out and to retaliate and defend yourself against this little guy, he, I don't know that it's a he, the zombie, as they reach out and bite you, you retaliate by slashing across their throat and then punching them in the nose. And they're looking hurt. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm not going to move this turn.
Okay. Then it is the other beastie's turn. So this one will come running up, even though, and they're too dumb to understand what's happening, and you shot that guy. So the two that can attack are going to try and slam into Fancy Feast and Pockets here. And that is a natural 1 and a 6. They're both going to miss. So as more of these little zombie rats join the fray, they all miss you. That'll bring us back up to Pockets with Tabby on deck.
Growls, hisses, and reaches back, grabs the handle of his great axe, and begins to cleave against the same rat that he had attacked previously.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll the hit.
All right. For a total of 14.
That'll hit.
And I had to dig out the D12 for this one. And wait, there's a. Oh, here it is. 10 for a total of 13 damage.
13 damage. How do you want to do this? First baddie of the night.
Epic cleave uppercut. Slice it in two and turn my attention to the one on my left.
Go for it.
And that's my turn.
Awesome. Tabby with Fancy Feast on deck.
I'm sort of backed up against Paucus, and I see that somebody is right next to me and him. This one that's directly in front of me, can I get sneak attack on him if I'm working in conjunction with Paucus?
Yeah, so you were hidden, so none of these rats know that you're behind him.
Great. I'm going to spring out and do 20 to hit. Oh, no,
That'll
sorry. 18. Sorry about that.
That'll still hit.
I'm going to swing a dagger this time.
Okay.
$15 damage.
How do you want to do this?
I take out rat number 2 with a clean slice of the dagger. Keeping it clean, keeping it pretty. And then I reach for my other dagger.
Abby, help the others. I'll take care of these mangy critters.
I reach for the other dagger, and with 2-weapon fighting style, and the other paw, 17 to hit the rat in the middle of the room.
That'll hit.
Excellent. 7 damage.
Ooh, okay.
D4, roll a 4.
Nice.
Oh,
Gotta
I
love when
forgot
that
bless. Is the bless for the hit or attack?
I stole the idea from Bless. It's just the 8 additional hit points, the 8 temp hit points.
Yeah. It's points. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a blessing, but it's not bless.
Oh,
if that makes
it's
sense.
a tongue-in-cheek one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. So as you are reach out and dispatch the first rat in front of you and reach out to get the attention of the second, is that your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Perfect. Fancy Feast. What would you like to do?
Fancy Feast would like to disengage and then fire off another Eldritch Blast at this rat.
Awesome. Go for it.
Kind of scoot back. And let's see if I do any better this time. I mean, I hit, but it was a terrible roll. Yes, that's a natural 18 for a 23.
That'll hit.
And let's roll some beautiful bean footage. Almost max, 12 points of powerful force damage.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. How do you want to do this one?
So this rat that came up and tried to swipe at me, Fancy Feast, just slinks away. It shakes his head and says, "You're more than interrupting playtime here. This is foul play indeed," and just incinerates it with his force blast.
And that's how that one goes down. Let's see. So I think it is the we've got some baddies' turn with Salmon on deck. So each of these baddies that are standing in front of the two there are going to try and reach out and swipe at each of you. That'll be 14 to hit Pockets and 10 to hit Salmon.
That matches my AC.
Okay, so that'll
It
hit.
misses.
And that misses. Then you're going to take another 5 points of bite damage there.
Is it reduced to 3 or 2?
2, please. We'll ride down today.
Ain't getting through that temp HP.
That's good. And then they bite attack, and then they are going. That is going to be their turn. Salmon, what are you doing?
I'm gonna start with a bonus action unarmed strike to see if that's
Okay.
enough for this little rat.
Go for it.
8 to hit.
That will not hit that one.
Okay. I'll just swipe at it with my paw and then come back with my short sword. 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
4 damage. I've been rolling a lot.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, well, yay. Just strike it down with the short sword. Get it out of the way.
It saw that punch coming, but it's ready. It wasn't quite ready for the sharp edge of your blade and goes down. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then that brings us back up to the top here. And this last little guy is going to move up in a base-to-base with you, Tabby, and try to take a bite at you. And that'll be 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
That is not a hit. You saw him coming. You're too fast. Then that puts Pockets up with Tabby on deck.
Right, Dax. Let's roll that beautiful tubing footage. For a total of 14.
14 will hit.
Alright. 7. For a total of 12 damage.
Alrighty. And
Working on to this one.
12 damage to that one?
Yes.
Okay, not the other one that was in front of you. Alrighty. How do you want to do this one?
Good old bonk on the head with the flat edge of the great axe.
Alrighty. He goes down. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I get out of the tap easily and conclude my turn.
Perfect. Tabby, you're up.
I'm gonna get in melee range with the last man standing,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try to be within 5 feet of Paucus as well to try to get sneak attack.
Perfect.
This is with the rapier, 8 to hit.
And that was the
He's
that
Right.
is the baddie with more hit points. So 8 just hits.
oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, 9 damage.
Perfect. He's not feeling hot, but he's still up.
And I'm gonna hide behind Paucus.
Again.
Yes.
Perfect. Fancy Feast.
Fancy feast. It looks like everybody has things under control. So Fancy Feast will lay down and lick his paws.
Okay. So this little guy is going to take one more swipe at Paucus here. What was your hide, Tabby?
I'm gonna hide for 12.
12. Okay. So that is a 20, not a natural 20, just a 20 to hit you, Paucus.
That hits me.
Okay. And that's going to be 4 damage.
Down to 2, which leaves me with 1 temp hit point.
Perfect. And that is its turn. Salmon, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go ahead and try to use my action to send Radiant Sunbolt to the one that is attacking Paucus and Tabby.
Awesome. Remind me, is that a attack spell or is
Yes,
that
it's
one?
an attack.
Okay, go ahead and roll me to attack.
22.
That definitely hits. And then roll me some damage.
5 points of radiant damage.
How do you want to do this?
Just a bolt
Yay.
of light coming from my paws, straight out of a toe beam, right into its face.
Straight out of a toe beam. So, as these zombies are finally fallen and that quiet comes back over, we bring ourselves back to the glowing of the globes, and now those moist little feet have turned into moist little piles of goo, and you guys are victorious.
I put the great axe back into its clip on my back.
Were there both regular rats and zombie rats, or were they all zombies?
They were all some hybrid of zombies. So the big ones were really easy to hit, but they had a little bit more energy to them. So they were a little bit more powerful, had some more life to them. The smaller ones were kind of this hybrid where they had been. Roll me Arcana and see if you picked up on this as you're investigating them.
I don't do that, but I did roll a 12.
You did roll a 12. So knowing that you're going after a necromancer and knowing a little bit of the lore about it here, you recognize these as like the first stages of zombieism. They're little minions of the necromancer. And you're finally figuring out where all of the birds and rats have gone.
What an awful waste of perfectly serviceable food.
I don't think Paucus is hungry anymore.
If we step further within the cave, did they
Mhm.
seem to come from the back or from any particular direction?
So, since you're the one that heard them originally, or I don't remember who heard them originally.
Pockets hurt.
That's right. Pockets would be able to tell you that they were basically hiding in the shadows of these orbs, kind of watching you guys. And as you got too far into the room, they decided it was time to attack and defend their space. So they were in the room already. If you do travel into the room, you can see what looks like a heavy door at the back.
Ugh, door. I'll go for the door.
Okay.
What kind
I
of
want
door
to go
is
closer and try to help open the door.
Gotcha.
Fancy Feast will approach and place a paw on Pockets' back and cast guidance.
it? Ooh,
Nice.
right.
Is the door locked?
It is. The door is locked.
What kind of door is it? Is it wood?
It's a stone door that matches the rest of the. Excuse me. So it's a stone door that matches the rest of these cobblestones on the floor. It's mildewy and grown over. However, all of the mildew along the edge of the door, it looks like it has been opened fairly recently and fairly regularly. As you see what, since you're cats, you'll notice as paw marks on the edges of the door as it being pulled open and shut.
I would like to check this door for traps.
Please do.
That would be a good idea.
Is that Dex, Liz?
You'll go ahead and use your Dex plus proficiency. Since you're proficient as a rogue, you're proficient with thieves' tools.
23.
23. There are no traps on this door.
Okay. Can I just try to open it?
Yeah. So with that 23, definitely able to pick the lock as well. So once you realize there's no traps, able to definitely open this door, and you start to push it open. Go ahead.
Pockets will headbutt the door open.
What's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is a +5.
Yep.
No, wait, I'm sorry, that's +3. I misread the saving throw.
That's okay. Oh, you guys are absolutely able to get the door open and shut. Alrighty.
I'll hang back.
I will lead the front.
So, gotcha. And as you guys peek into the next room, you see that those cables are running from one room to the next, and that this chamber, as that door comes open, is freezing. Think of the coldest of cold nights, even after your fur has, that undercoat has puffed out to keep you warm. But you've left a fire, or it's died partway through the night. And just that chill that creeps in, being wet and cold, that is the scent and the feeling that you get from the second room.
It reminds me of home a little bit.
And it's so cold that it leaves a mist that hangs just over your heads.
How high are these, what I assume to be tables?
Um,
Can
So-
we see up on them?
that mist is hiding what's actually on the tables. You do see that there are chains as you come into this room, and that mist starts to coalesce on the edges of your fur and turn to icicles. You can see that there are chains hanging down from these tables.
For an encore of earlier, Fancy Feast says, I wonder, this mist might be something I could simply blow away for a moment, and would try and gust through the air to see if he can see anything while it stirs it up.
Yeah. So,
It only has a range of 30 feet for what that's worth.
okay. So as your gust runs around the room, you're able to see where the top of some of these tables are, and you see that they hit between 8 and 12 feet in the air with the copper cables running down as well. And as it comes to the end of this room, you still can't see what's on these tables, if anything. But the copper cables are connected to another orb that's full of that blue, swirling, translucent mist.
I want to go ahead and try. I guess I'll have to move closer. Five, 10,
Like
15,
a
20,
slow,
25,
like
30.
50%.
So here.
I stayed with salmon.
I'm gonna send a radiant sunbolt at the orb.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
an 11 hit?
Does an 11 hit the orb? So as you throw your radiant sunbolt at this orb, you see it smack against the glass, rattle everything that's inside of it, and kind of as the magic dissipates along the edges, it crackles with energy. You, having hit this thing with your radiant energy now, you think that it is naturally immune to magic, but if someone was to hit it hard enough with physical damage, it would probably still break. And as you have moved into the room, both Paucus and Salmon, you feel that cold start to just seep into your limbs, and it's the opposite of the warmth of those milk and fish cakes earlier, as it slows you down. And as you get about 2/3 through the room and close enough to hit this orb, you feel completely slowed, like it would be detrimental in battle.
I would like to use my great axe in attempt to smash the orb.
Okay. Please do so at disadvantage.
For a total of 7.
7. To hit it, it's an immobile object. You can absolutely hit the orb. Go ahead and roll me some damage.
Relax. 6. For a total of 13 damage.
Okay. So as you come down on this object, your axe almost bounces off of it. But you start to see just the most hairline spider fractures start to form on the edge of the orb where you hit it.
I rear back and I try to swing at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Do I roll to the attack or just roll damage?
Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack one more time for me.
For a total of 14. No,
Okay.
wait. Yeah, 14. It was a 9 and 11. It's 9. For a total of 12 damage.
12 damage. So as you rear back to hit this thing a second time, you hear this great crash as the whole thing pretty much explodes. Roll me a d6. You're muted again, Shad.
I muted because the phone was ringing.
Oh, sorry about that. Roll me a d6.
Okay. 30.
A 3?
Yes, that's 30.
Yep. Then you take 3 points of force damage as this thing has this magical backlash when you let that fog go.
The last of the glow dissipates as it finally goes through the temp HP.
And I
He
need
takes
everyone
his-
else to roll initiative.
He's now
If
down to
you
30
say
HP.
so.
If you say
Alright, let me roll.
Alrighty. Anyone give a 25 to 20?
21 for the rogue.
Okay. 15 to 20?
17.
Okay. Salmon. And 15 to 10?
12 for pockets.
I did 10 for Fancy Feast.
I actually rolled low for once. So that makes sense. Was I
okay.
knocked back, by the way? From the blast?
No, you were not knocked back at all. It was just 1d6 force damage.
Okay. Just curious.
And I mean enough to make you roll your own force damage for your consequences.
At all, I reject it.
Okay, so as that blast reaches out, you hear this groaning as the chains are pulled against on these tables, as these 4 larger zombies, rat zombies, wake up and kind of jump off the side of the table and come to the ground. And Tabby, what would you like to do with Salmon on deck?
Can I see them getting down off the tables?
Yes.
So I'm within range at least of one of them, yes?
So they jumped off the other side of the table from you, and with that table being 8 feet high, no. You can see them. Go ahead.
Can I hide under the table and try to get at him?
Oh, absolutely.
So, bonus action hide.
Okay.
10.
Let's see, with these guys, with an int of 3, yeah, you're able to hide from him.
Okay. I will take with my action a swing with the rapier.
Okay.
7 to hit.
7. Nope, doesn't quite hit. These are similar to the guys that you saw in the other room. It looks like 2 of them are a little beefier and bigger and are going to be easier to hit. And then 2 of them are a little smaller, have a little bit more, just based on their size, harder to hit, but easier to bring down.
So, that's the end of my turn, and I'm hidden somewhere under the table, but I may have compromised myself with that attempt.
That's okay. These zombies stay very focused on the orb that has been crushed. By the way, I should keep track of that. And Salmon, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go up to this rat over here and pull out my short sword
Okay.
and attack with that. So that will be a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Awesome. Oh, finally, that's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, unarmed strike. 11 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. How do you want to do that? These are not super hefty creatures.
Just like slash through it and then punch it right on the nose. Trying to knock it out.
Gotcha. Hey, and it goes down. So, let's see. So as you guys are coming up here, this zombie saw Salmon move past, is towards the center of the room, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, moves up to you, and then the other one moves up to you, Pockets, and they both try to take attacks at you. That'll be 10 to hit you, Pockets,
Nope.
and 23 to hit you, Salmon.
Yep.
Alrighty, so that's going to be, as they run, they are reaching out, they're going to slam into you, and it's going to be 4 damage. That is their turn. That puts Paucus up with Fancy Feast on deck.
Alright. Bonus action rage. I grab my axe and I go to cleave the big one in front of me.
Go for it.
And I'm going to recklessly attack
Okay.
for a total of 10.
That'll hit.
Alright. And for reckless attack, I get advantage on attacks, but they get advantage on attacks on me as well for
Perfect.
1 turn. 10. For a total of 14 damage. Oh wait, 16 plus the rage.
So it's 16 damage?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty. So as you knock this zombie back, they're about as hefty as the ones in the other room, and you see it stagger as it tries to hit you, or as it takes that hit from you. Still standing though.
A worthy foe once more. That concludes Pockets' turn.
Perfect. Fancy Feast, and then we've got the one other little zombie boy on deck.
Fancy Feast will. Looks like I could see the one attacking Salmon pretty clearly from my spot. And so I will. He will just shake his head and say, "It's either disgusting or freezing, and then zombie rats. This is. Well, I don't think a mere pie is going to be enough payment for this." And fire an Eldritch Blast for an 11 to hit.
11 will hit that one. Yes.
Okay. Trusty Neapolitan ice cream dice of damage. It's been rolling well, and I said it out loud, so it didn't. For a total of 5 force damage.
5 force damage on the one in next to. Okay. Perfect. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Okay. So this other guy is going to start running towards 20, 25, 30, and end up kind of here in the middle of the room. Not sure what he's doing. That puts Tabby back at the top here with Salmon on deck.
I want to look up and see if I can shimmy my way up on top of the table.
Absolutely. Roll me a dexterity.
And it costs me no extra movement as a thief.
Oh, nice.
So like 12.
Okay. So you're going to be able to get up on that table just fine.
Great. And that was basically just my movement, right, Liz?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna fire my short bow
Okay.
at the crystal.
The crystal's broken.
Oh, it's broken.
Yeah,
Right.
Pocket's broken.
Great.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take my bowstring and draw back and fire at the guy in the middle of the room.
Okay. By himself. Perfect.
He's exposed, hopefully.
He sure is.
13 to hit,
That'll hit.
6 damage.
Ooh. He's not looking too hot. And as you hit your bow at him, you hear this little as he squeals when he's hit.
And I don't think that did any sneak damage because I think I'm exposed up there, right?
He didn't know you were there, so if you want to add your sneak attack, please do.
Oh, I think I will. 6 plus 6. So 12
Man.
damage.
So he thought about just standing up and trying to fight the rest of you, and then he realized how intimidating you all were and fell into a pile of bush.
Okay,
Is that your turn?
that's my turn.
Perfect. Then, Salmon, you are up.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a swipe with my short sword at the one in front of me.
Perfect.
That will be 23 to hit,
That hits.
and that's 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Bonus action unarmed strike for
Perfect.
17 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that's 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay. This guy's not looking too hot. Is that your turn?
I'm just gonna hiss at it.
So as you guys are battling back these zombies, the one next to you, Paucus, is going to try and hit you for 17.
That hits.
Okay, that'll be 4 points of body slam damage.
Down to
And the one next to you, Salmon, is going to try and hit you for 7.
Oh,
I rolled a 4 and a 14 plus 3. So as it's reeling back from your attack with your punchy little paws, it goes to get you, and you deftly move out of the way. Paucus, you are up with Fancy Feast on deck.
Let's finish this. Good ducks. And recklessly. Natural 20.
Go ahead and roll me damage, and either double your dice or double your damage, whichever makes you happy.
Let's see, 12, 15. How does 30 damage sound?
That sounds like as you do you want to describe how you obliterate it, or do you want me to?
Oh. He swings it back and like a reverse guillotine, slices up into the air, going 5-10 feet up into the air with the great axe before landing deftly back onto his paws.
Very nice. So you are able to take out that zombie in front of you. Anything else you would like to do with your turn?
I join Salmon's side, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty, Fancy Feast.
Fancy Feast is stunned as he sees this rat fly into the air, or what's left of it, at Puck. And he just sort of says, "Remind me never to make you angry, friend." And then we'll try and see if he can finish off this rat with a good old Eldritch Blast.
Pew pew.
And that is a natural 20. Hey!
Nice. 2 in a row. We'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm quite
So-
happy with my dice.
As I said, either double your dice or double your damage, whatever makes you happy.
Okay. I'm gonna go with double my dice because that sounds fun. And that is going to be... Oh, yep, that's a 9 and a 10 on those d10s, plus 6, so 25 points of force damage.
And how do you want to do this?
Yeah, Fancy Feast finally getting a good hit, almost threading this needle between, trying not to hit his two friends. It's sorts of, I imagine the Eldritch Blast sort of driving this thing down into the ground, leaving a little crater.
And what color is your magic?
Oh, his magic is orange.
So, as this axe comes up and brings one of the zombies down and splatters them into the flooring, as the second one is taken out almost simultaneously by this orange blast of force energy. These two little craters and an exploded orb are what is left of this room as you come out of combat. Is there anything you'd like to do here?
Let's really not waste time and find
my-
the source of this.
From my
Horrible.
vantage point on top of the table, can I see anything that I couldn't see before?
So yeah, go ahead and make me a investigation check while you're on top of the table.
Nah. Six.
No? 6. So as you're standing on top of this table, you see that there are various corpses around the room above and beyond just the ones that you guys killed. You thought there might be something shiny in the one closest to you here, still on the top of this table, that's not been revivified, as it's not plugged into any of the cables. And you do find one gold piece.
Podcast would like to look around the room just for any shinies.
Any shinies? Go ahead and roll me investigation.
All right, investigation is probably not my strongest with a -1.
Would anyone like to help him look for shiny things?
I will.
Anyone?
Go for it. Do you want to roll on your own or give him advantage?
I'll roll on my own.
Perfect.
You roll, or I get advantage?
So
Okay.
you're both going to roll individually for me.
Well, I got a 1, so I was just wondering if I was going to get that advantage.
8. You guys are both able to find one shiny piece of gold each.
Ooh.
Seeing as this orb was destroyed and Fancy Feast is a practitioner of the arcane arts, he's wondering if the destruction of the orb has had any other effect. Like, is it still cold in this room? Has anything changed now that it's cracked?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me Arcana. See how much
All right.
information you get for me.
12.
12. So the orb is magic. As you had that force damage come off, and as you're standing in this room, taking stock of how you feel and how, and you didn't advance far enough into the room to feel the sapping effects before that orb was down. So this room is just now still cold, and it smells. If you have formaldehyde in fantasy, it has a little bit of that formaldehyde-y smell, where nothing is sanitary, everything is slightly slimy in a way that you really don't appreciate, where it's not frozen over, and it's still just cold, and that mist is starting to come back as you guys had dispersed it a little bit.
What about those orbs back out there? Should we destroy every orb we find?
We can always destroy the other orbs on the way out.
Is this room, I know that we found a lot of wires. Is this room connected to the other room?
Yes, all the the copper wires are from the orbs in the first room are connected to the tables and the orb in the second room, which you'll see more. My dog just growled in his sleep. He's adorable. Boy. He's gonna bark here in a second, so sorry. As you see, these wires are coming from the orb, and the tables in the second room are leading underneath another door.
Can I, if I try with my short sword, would I be able to reach some of the wires?
Yeah, so they're running along the floor, so you can reach most of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if they were up, like, on the tables. I want to just try to slash them with my short sword.
You want to slash one of these? Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
17.
Okay. So, of the numerous numbers of wires that are running from orb to tables to orb to door, you're able to cut through two of them.
I was going to try to disable the wires at my end of the room, specifically if they were running out of the cave or towards the other cave, and I was going to use my crowbar.
Okay. Go ahead and do a thieves tool check for me. So, dexterity plus proficiency.
10.
10. So, if you feel like you've been able to dismantle at least one of these wires, of the numerous that are coming across the floor, but it's all magic to you.
I don't know what I'm doing. Star, can you help?
I can certainly try.
Fancy, do you know anything about this? Should we keep going? Should we smash all the crystals and then keep going?
We've at least smashed the one in the middle. And that seems bigger than the other one, so maybe that's a good thing.
If need be, I could cut cables with my great axe.
I mean, we could try this one more time. So, having investigated the one orb that's broken, knowing that it's magical because as it was smashed, there was force damage that came out of it. You saw that happen to Pacus. I'd give you advantage if you wanted to investigate the orbs in the previous room.
I'm going to hold off on rolling investigation because I have a negative. If the others would like to roll, they're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was thinking from our Arcana for our Warlock.
So rolling Arcana or Investigation, it's the same bonus for me.
Whichever is better. It doesn't make any difference.
This
But
is
yeah,
a job.
I'll take I'll take advantage. That means I get double the chances to roll low. I'm thinking positive, y'all. No, I've got an 8, but a natural 20 on the second dice.
Nice. So as you walk through, you know when you walk through a doorway and you forget what you were going for? But sometimes you also walk through a doorway and remember something that was completely unhelpful for whatever you wanted to do as you forgot your first thing. So as you get back to the first room that has all of the orbs around it, it dawns on you that these orbs are full of necrotic energy. So this is what is feeding whatever is happening further in to these catacombs and whatever lies within. The orbs channel some form of eldritch energy to an unseen point deeper in the catacombs.
Oh my. I don't know how I missed it before. Perhaps I was distracted by all that lovely dangling wire. However, these orbs, I believe they're feeding this zombified energy. It's awful. I propose we just destroy them all right now. Perhaps we could even weaken what lies ahead of us, and it might well be in our favor.
You need things breaking? I'm coming.
Sounds good to me.
How high are these smaller orbs?
In the first room, with a good enough jump or time or a combination of both, you could get all the orbs if you wanted to. Go ahead and roll me a strength test for whoever's going to be smashing orbs, if you want to smash them with.
You said a leap? Would that be athletics?
As I said, given enough time and effort, you'll be able to smash them. So.
Okay.
May I shoot them with my bow?
You sure can.
For 13.
13. Okay, so as you go to smash this first one, it does the same thing that the first one did to you. It cracks and has those hairline fractures that go all the way out from it, but it doesn't quite break. Are you going to shoot the same one with your bow as he's sitting with his axe, or
yes,
a different
but
one?
I did try the same one, but it's only an 8.
So same thing. As he goes to smack it, and your arrow hits it in a adjacent location, those hairline fractures just grow all the way around it.
And 11.
Okay,
Finish it off, Bacchus.
that's right. How far back are you standing, Tabby?
Oh, I was back because it was a bow.
Yep. Okay, so 10, 15 feet. So as you're watching Pocket swing at this again, as it breaks, it releases another font of energy from it, and you take another 3 points of damage, Pocket.
Ah. Oh no. Let's see. That takes me down to 25. I think we should probably deal with these at range. I do not like being smacked back whenever I smack something.
So, are you guys going to go ahead and basically just throw enough weapons and physical damage to take out all 6 of these orbs?
Yeah, I'm gonna Ravager toss.
This is like worse than the ornaments on a Christmas tree. We are gonna smash these so hard.
Just
So-
throw darts at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We're not going to make you roll for every single orb unless you really, really want to. But as I said, given the time and determination to ruin these orbs' day, you're able to take out all 6 of them in this room.
I certainly keep going. Time is of the essence, after all.
Anything else you guys would like to do in these first 2 rooms?
I'm going to cut a few more wires just to be sure that we're cutting off the source.
Given plenty of time, you're able to cut through as many wires as you'd like. The destroying of the orbs themselves probably triggered. You don't know if someone noticed that their power source is draining. So we're about 2 hours in here. Do we want to take a quick break, or do we
Sure.
want to keep going?
Well, a few minute quick break for bio break wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and do that. I think there was at least... Oh, Chris, thank you for subbing and gifting a sub to someone else. That's awesome. And then I don't know if there was a bit thing that I missed in here, but you guys are awesome for coming out to join us this afternoon. Give us 10 minutes here and we'll be back to continue entertaining you. Thank you, Vox. Reminder that every bit and dollar donation that you put towards us today is going to Asada's daughters. We're keeping none of it. We're going to go ahead and put every penny of it towards that amazing charity and organization here in Chicago. And then, so we'll see you guys here in a few minutes. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Welcome back, folks. Our adventurers have gotten through 2 rooms and figured out that they think they should be smashing orbs. Managed not to get any glass cuts on their perfect little paws. And I think we found a couple more adventurers to join us. There was a couple of kittens on screen just a second ago. And
Or PPK.
That would have been the best way to end this early. Would be if we accidentally all imploded ourselves.
yeah, that is correct. But it's a one shot, so I do my best not to kill players. I try. Sometimes I fail miserably, but I try.
Just characters.
Hmm?
You try your best not to kill players, but characters are still up for grab.
Oh, either. I mean, that's what this whole virtual thing is, right? You're so far away, it's really hard to, Anyway, characters. Don't hurt your players, folks. They're good people, or they should be good people. Play at safe tables. And don't make mistakes like I do. And here we are. So, are we back to Cats and Catacombs? All right. So I think. And are you guys gonna progress to that 3rd room now? What would you like to do?
I'm waiting for the rest of my friends.
Okay.
I want to like sniff around and like look for anything suspicious, like any, not like traps, but like recently, like more like tracks, like recently walked on places.
So go ahead and roll me a survival for your tracking capabilities.
That will be 14.
Okay, so you're able to see that as what was I going to say? So, as you're going back and forth here to look at these tracks through the 2 rooms that you're in and kind of the doorway to the 3rd, and as you come up to the doorway of the 3rd, you see like the shambling gate of the undead. You see those where like a foot has been drugged because it's not quite connected to the knee the way it should be, or how the smell of just the mold and decay that follows these creatures is permeating both of these rooms. And yes, there's been plenty of traffic, and you see that there could be this shadow of a cat paw somewhere in this all these tracks, but nothing specific.
I'll go ahead and share that with the rest of the group and kind of poke around a little bit more just to see if there's anything nearby.
What would a cat want stuck in this dank, dark cave?
Obviously nothing good, since there have been rat zombies.
Oh, so
I mean, who ruins a perfectly good rat, right?
I know. Tabby wants to play in the water a little bit, like splash the water on the ground, and then is proceeding to check out the next doorway for traps.
Go ahead and roll me a thieves tool check for traps.
13.
13. Okay, so as you come up to that door and you figure out that it has no traps, and you put your paw up to stabilize yourself to try and pick a lock, you realize that it's not locked. And the door comes straight open. And as it rocks just a little bit, when you lean against it, you are first struck with this smell of ozone and this faint green light.
Oof. Smells back here. And my whiskers do a little bit of a downturn.
I hiss and fold my ears back at the smell. Ugh, makes Trolloc smell bearable in comparison.
Can we peer into the light and see if we can see anything down the passageway?
If you go ahead and open that door, you guys will see this room that is relatively well lit compared to the others. And it, let's see.
Let's see.
Roll 20. There we go. So as you're staring into this room, you see this machine that domes up and has glowing orbs on the top, and these almost like tentacles that come out of it that are full of machinery and wires that end in more glowing globes. But instead of blue this time, it's a neon green gas that is twisting and writhing, and almost seems alive.
Oh dear.
I sniff at it and see if it smells like it's poisonous, like if we shouldn't break these orbs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Perception?
Are you gonna touch it?
No, I'm just smelling, like
Just
smelling
smelling
the
it?
air around it.
Yeah, go ahead. Perception probably with advantage because you're a cat, right?
15.
Yeah. So as you get close enough to smell this thing, you think the arm twitches just a little bit. You think you see it move, and then it settles back down as it realizes you're coming just to smell it. And no, probably not poisonous. There's nothing in the air that seems poisonous. Just more necromantic energy and potential, a force when those orbs explode.
Tabby, seeing that we've entered another lair, is going to take out his ball bearings, his sack
Okay.
of ball bearings, and keep them close.
Okay.
I don't like this. Part of me wants to smash. Part of me wants to get around it.
This tentacle mechanical thing, it reacted to Salmon when she got close enough. I'm going to throw a ball bearing at one of the arms and see if it reacts in any way.
Gotcha.
1.
So, yeah, as you throw that ball bearing, you see the glowing green of the closest orb of any of the arms that you hit. And it kind of swirls around, and you imagine that it would be like a cat swiveling its head to look at something that it thought made a noise. But it's just that gaseous green that's moving around and kind of focusing for a second on where that ball bearing fell, and then comes back and starts swirling again.
Can I arcana or investigate? Just like, does this gas like remind me of anything in particular?
Oh, it's the same kind of glowing gas that you saw in the other orbs. Just
Okay.
green.
It just seemed almost intelligent.
Yeah. It's behaving differently. It's actually reacting to you instead of just behaving differently. And I apologize. When you had that perception check earlier, Salmon, you also caught a glimpse of 2 lines of text that's right on the edge of that skull. And if you lean in to read it, it says, "Only dead hands can move what dead magic created."
Share that with the group. What do you think it means? Do you have to be undead to be able to control it?
Certainly macabre.
Okay. So go ahead and place yourselves in the room wherever you think you are at this point.
I'm just watching.
Is there a central console in the middle of all of this?
Yeah, that's that dome in the middle that as you guys are moving through the room, you'll recognize that it starts looking like a skull with these arms coming out of it.
And are there openings in the skull like you'd expect to see, the eye socket?
Those are glowing green, like the orbs.
But are they able to? Are they firm, solid, or do they seem to be open and the gas is inside?
How close are you willing to get to find out?
Not close enough for that, I guess. I'm tagging along with Salmon at the moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, so there's green glowing coming from where you would expect the eyes to be on this thing. You'd have to get relatively close to figure out if it's a solid that is in those eye holes, or if it's just gas or from something underneath.
How about I draw back my short bow and I fire it through an eye hole.
It goes into the gas and disappears.
I'm just trying to survey around this. Are the eyes watching me as I go by?
No. The gas is, depending on how close you're getting to the arms and the skull in the middle, the eyes on the skull are not moving. They're just glowing green. And then, just like the other rooms, this room is littered with corpses of different animals, some humanoid, some animal, all adults, obviously. This necromancer is not out here for kids, but just pieces and parts of different creatures.
Are there any intact hands of the dead we see scattered about?
You can certainly find some, yes.
If the hand is perhaps mobile, maybe not attached to the guy, I'm searching for an independent limb. And what was our proverb we discovered, that a dead hand can change or move what dead hands have created?
Only dead hands can move what dead magic created.
So I'm looking around for a limb or two.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me investigation.
Podcast is gonna look for one too.
I was gonna help, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Roll with advantage.
Nat 20.
16.
You were able to find as many hands as you'd like.
Okay.
From as many creatures as you would like to find them from.
Can I use the hand to touch an orb?
Touch an orb. Go ahead and do that. So as you come up, go ahead and put yourself next to one of the whichever
Yep.
orb you want to touch.
I approach the orb that Salmon and I are already investigating.
Okay. So as you come up to the edge of that orb, and you go to reach out with the dead hands, it actually reaches out to lash out at you. Roll me a dexterity check. Dexterity saving throw.
17.
17. You're able to jump back in time. So as you're the very end of this arm, it kind of, the edge picks itself up and tries to throw that globe at you so that it can catch you. But it just misses.
Definitely hot. Is it?
I
don't
want to
think this
test
is
a
the right
theory because I know that radiant energy kind of messes with necrotic energy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to send a radiant sunbolt into one of the eyes.
Okay. It disappears
Okay.
into the gas, just like the arrow did. Kind of, I would say a little bit of it crackles along the metal that is along the edge of the eye holes. But it disappears.
Okay. I'll send another one to the orb on the arm that's on the opposite side of where we're investigating.
Okay. Gotcha. You said into this orb here, this one?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and are we trying to break the orb? What do we want to do?
I just want to see if the radiant energy negates the necrotic energy or like obliterates it at all.
This is another glass orb.
Okay.
So just like the last time, it'll crackle along it and kind of dissipate without majorly damaging one way or the other.
All right. Are we going to destroy these orbs?
So, I mean, so you've walked up and the arms moved to keep you away from the middle. So you'll probably have to, but only when you got within so many feet of it, right? And try to interact.
Do we know whether these wires or cables or whatever that are connecting to the skull, are those also immune to magic damage? I don't know if anyone's tried, or if it's just the orbs themselves.
So those are the cables that you severed from the previous two rooms.
Oh, okay.
So you think whatever is attached to those cables that may or may not be powering this guy is defunct at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to jump as far as I can. I'm gonna take a running jump, and I'm gonna try to distract it and think I'm going in one direction and go in the other direction and jump towards the skull.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a feint attack.
Gotcha. Roll me acrobatics. Let's see if we can do this.
Yeah. 23.
23.
Nice.
You still have your dead hands, right?
Yes, I'm coming. My jiggly caliente dead hands.
I'm just seeing him flailing his dead limbs.
This is the wrong music for this. Boy, I thought this was gonna go in a different direction. I sure thought this was gonna go in a different direction. Okay, so let's change this back. So as you jump over these the arms and they kind of reach up to try to flail at you, but you're able to evade them. You land on top of the skull, and all 8 at least 4 of these arms that are within 10 feet of you, give or take a little bit, wherever you land on the skull, start to come alive. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try to maybe do a perception check and stick my head inside the skull.
You know that there's enough gas coming out of those that you're not going to be able to see anything.
Okay. Do I see anything up here that I can damage effectively? Wires, batteries.
Wires, batteries, things to chew on, things that'll get you sprayed with a bottle of water. Probably not. Nothing that would be quick or efficient.
Okay.
Tabby, try a torch.
What are you doing with the hands?
I'm gonna place both hands on the skull. 1, 2.
Okay. So as you place both hands on the skull, it rumbles. And as it rumbles, the arms die down on the outside, and it moves itself about 10 feet. And a staircase is revealed. So,
Okay.
That was brilliant.
Good show, Tabby.
Even Bacchus is impressed.
I haven't survived this long without being able to dodge a few hands.
I'd give you a hand, but you already seem to have a pair. Let's get going, shall we?
So, as you guys approach the stairs, you see that the green neon gas is swirling just a little bit less in these orbs, and you can tell that there were tiny creatures in each of the ends of the orbs. And if you had cracked those, you probably would have set them free. And you see that the glowing is coming from just the light of the staircase, and as you guys reach towards the staircase, that gas is starting to dissipate, not being trapped by that skull anymore, and you're able to move your way into the staircase. Anything you guys want to do before you walk into the next room?
Probably paw bump Tabby.
Probably what?
Paw bump or fist bump Tabby. For job.
Perfect. So as you guys are walking down these stairs, it turns into oh, I moved you guys but not myself. I'm like, why didn't the map change? So as you guys walk down the staircase, the stairs change. They go from these earthen stairs towards a more marble staircase with pillars and just Corinthian. I'll remember the word here in a minute. Construction, and you're finding yourself in a final catacomb and crypt. A crypt that's been turned into a laboratory is filled with rats, all of which are wearing a strange collar embedded with glowing gems. And in the center of the room is this nefarious looking cat. He is clutching something gold in his mouth and is fiddling with wires with his back to you, and is yelling about the radicalism. What would you like to do?
Radicalism.
Fancy would like to cast invisibility on Tabby.
Ooh, exciting. Go ahead and do that. Any other last minute prep before we roll initiative?
Oh, my prep's going to be after initiative.
Okay.
I just want to whisper to everyone, I think the cat is more important than the rats if we can focus on that.
I will deal with the rats and that thing if you can deal with the cat.
Okay. All right, then go ahead and roll me initiative and give me a hot second to get it together. Okay.
So, oh, right.
Because you guys killed all of those orbs. And you crushed 7 of them. Alrighty. Do. Alrighty, so that is going to be Ooh. Okay. So, did you guys do 20 to 25?
20.
And that was, I haven't memorized all your voices yet.
20 for Tabby.
Perfect.
20,
Hey,
22
alright.
for salmon.
Same. 22 for Fancy Feast.
The
So to
rolls
be
where they
fa-
matter.
Yeah, that's right. So I've been writing Fancy Feast down as just PHPH.
Outstanding.
He's got a positive pH balance.
He sure does. And then let's see. And then 15 to 20.
17 for Pacus.
And then I think that's all of you, right? Tabby, Salmon, Fancy Feast, and Pacus.
Have the rats seen us yet?
The rats at the front, they sure have. The Necromeouncer has not. Okay, so now that I think I have me together, and so the rats, as they see you guys and hear that door open, they all kind of they stop what they're doing and what they're holding, and they start this chittering. Like when rats are grinding their teeth on something, and you get that noise that's just. You can feel it in the end of your fingers, like you've touched something that's just that terrible texture that's real gross. And as they start to swarm behind the Necromeoncer, he turns around and you hear, and just for everyone at home, because my voiceover skills are absolutely terrible, I'm imagining if you've seen Emperor's New Groove when Yzma is turned into the tiny little white cat and has that voice. That's what I'm imagining. So, it's you! The fools who have been smashing my necro orbs and killing my beautiful zombies! Well, you're too late! My plan is at fruition! The radicalism is about to awake, and when it does, the world will tremble! First, however, I'm sure it can devote a little time to tear you limb from limb. And my dog is not worried about me. And the rats will attempt to charge. So Salmon and
Pacus would like to say something.
Yeah.
Pacus roars back. The only one who's going to be teared limb from limb is you.
And with that, Salmon and Fancy Feast, you are up. Salmon, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's see, can I reach? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Perfect. I'm gonna attack with my Radiant Bolt at the Necromeouncer.
Okay, go ahead.
9 to hit. That's probably not
9
gonna hit.
to hit for the Necromeoncer. No, that misses.
Okay, and then I'm gonna spend a key point to do it again as a bonus action.
Okay, go ahead.
19 to hit.
That'll hit.
5 points of radiant damage.
Okay. Gotcha. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Movement, action, bonus action. I'm good.
Alrighty. Fancy Feast.
Yeah. How high up is this block? Right, a few squares in front of me. Could I scamper on top of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then Fancy Feast would like to do that and get a nice view of the Necromeoncer and say, "Radicalism, really? Oh, aren't you a bit full of yourself?" And he'll fire off a good old-fashioned Eldritch Blast.
Perfect.
With a natural 20.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Natural 20. Good job.
I found the dice for the day.
It's a D10.
Finally, right?
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, only a 4 and a 2 on the die, so it brings it up to 12 force damage.
12 force damage. Now I have to do math.
3,700 HP remaining.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep, I'll stay put.
Okay. Tabby, you're next with the Necromeouncer on deck.
Tabby is currently invisible thanks to his friend Fancy Feast's spell.
That is correct.
Would that allow him to get sneak attack damage?
It sure does, because it gives you advantage on your attack roll.
So I'm gonna advance 30 feet. But I don't think that's gonna get me within dagger range. 20,
like
20.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're within 30 feet of him. If you're trying to hit the Necromeoncer.
No, Necromancer. Okay, so I'm gonna fire the short bow.
Perfect.
14 to hit.
Okay. 14 just hits.
A d6 with 2d6 sneak.
Okay.
9 damage to the Necromeouncer.
Perfect.
And I remain hidden.
And then
Actually,
I believe that your
if it-
invisibility drops
Yes.
because you attacked.
If it was
Yes.
greater, you would still be invisible.
For my bonus action, then, I will attempt to hide behind Salmon.
Okay.
25.
Ooh.
I'm hiding best I can.
Keep track of that number. Alrighty. So as you guys both shoot an arrow and then blast of energy on the Necromeoncer, he turns around and give me a second. So he turns around and as he sees you all, even though he's taken these 2 bits of damage, he will reach or move himself away from you guys and disappear behind the edge of this bulbous machine that may or may not be full of whatever that radicalism of bones is, but you're not entirely sure yet. And That's his turn. And then Pockus, you're up with the rats on deck.
Marcus, finally seeing the mastermind behind all of this. First off, he's going to rage,
Okay.
and he's going to frenzy, which gives him a bonus attack. So he'll have 2 attacks, and he's going to start cleaving into the rats like a blender. As you just see this vicious difference in a cat that has been traveling with you all. And great axe time. And recklessly. For a total of 24 on the one
That'll-
next to me.
That'll hit.
Okay. For a total of 14 damage on this one.
14. Okay. So as you reach out with your axe and your fury, these are like the little rats that you were dealing with before. He falls.
And he's going to go up and bonus attack the other rat
Go ahead.
recklessly. Not that I need it, I just got a natural 20.
Perfect. Either double your dice or double your damage.
Mm. 26, but plus boat rage, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he
then-
roars a ferocious roar as he cleaves at these 2 creatures like it was no tomorrow.
That's right. And that second one falls. They're not very hefty. They're made to carry out little tasks and generally just swarm whenever possible. Not so much to actually be useful. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. So as you take your turn, the rest of the rats move their attention to everyone forward here. And they move up and start to swarm around to keep you from being able to advance on their master. Pockus, you will take 2 of their bite attacks.
At advantage.
At advantage. Okay.
Iris recklessly.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me. So it's a 16 plus 5, so it's 21 to hit.
That hits.
And then a 7, double 17s on that advantage. So
How much?
that'll be 10 points of bite damage.
That'll be down to 20 HP.
And then the next one in line is going to be Tabby. That'll be a 19 to bite.
I was trying to hide behind him.
Oh,
that
yeah,
work?
you were hidden. So let's say that's a disadvantage. That's a 9 to hit you.
Does not hit.
Okay. And then that's another 9 to hit you, Salmon. Nope. Man, they have bad aim all the way around. At least somewhat. So that is their turn. The Radicalism has not entered the fray. You haven't seen it yet. So we're back up at the top with Salmon and Fancy Feast with Tabby on deck. It doesn't matter which one of you go first, I don't
All
think.
right. Yeah, then Fancy Feast will call out and say, perhaps we should focus our fire on clearing these dreadful rats out so we can take down the true foe. And he'll fire off an Eldritch Blast at the one in front of Salmon, closest to him. Well, a 17 to hit
That'll hit.
for 10 points of force damage.
And which one were you hitting?
The one directly north of
And-
Salmon.
And with a squeal, that guy pops out of existence and falls to a pile of bones and decaying sinew and mush.
All right, I'll stay on my perch.
Okay. Salmon, what would you like to do?
I'll go ahead and step over here. Do I have advantage because Hawkus is engaged with this one?
So if we want to use flanking rules, we absolutely can. Just the enemies can use it too.
Yeah, that's fair.
So if you would like to give yourself advantage, we can play with that. Just let me know.
I'm not the one that's surrounded. Pockets.
I recklessly attacked, so it didn't matter if they had advantage or not.
Okay. Sure. I'll go ahead and attack with my short sword.
Perfect.
That would be 20. Dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
6 points of damage.
To the guy in front of you?
Yes, this one right here.
Yeah, the one next to you. Perfect.
And then bonus action, unarmed strike.
Okay.
Be a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
So that's an additional 5 points of damage.
And this one goes down. These are not very hefty, folks. Alrighty, is that your turn?
I'm gonna go ahead, since they seem to be so easy to go down, I'm gonna go try to catch the Necromeoncer.
Okay.
So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Or 2.
Okay. So, with Salmon running for the Necromeouncer, Tabby, what would you like to do?
I want to run past these rats. So I'm first going to take the bonus action disengage for the thief.
You're not in range.
Yeah, you technically don't have to, and you can run far enough around
Okay.
them, but I don't think
I'm
it's
going to
an
run
issue.
around these guys instead and save my bonus action and go 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to try to get right up with Salmon.
Okay.
If that's within range. Does he have any cover from me or anything? Where
Yeah,
he
he's
is?
behind a giant, huge bubble. You technically, neither of you can see him yet.
Can I throw a dagger in his general vicinity yet?
Yes, at disadvantage. Go for it.
Okay.
Because you can't technically see him. You think he's behind there. Let's see what happens.
10 to hit.
10 to hit. That's going to miss.
For my bonus action, I'm gonna hide on the other side of this thing.
Perfect.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. So as you get close enough that you can almost see into the green fog that is filling this capsule, you start to see these bones start to shake and move as they begin to come alive, and you hear this cackle from behind this glass tube. A brave attempt, heroes, but it's much too late. Much too late indeed. My greatest creation is here. I think you'll make an exquisite first meal. And you hear this, like the air escaping from a hermetic tube, where that noise as these green gas from this thing, that is the wrong mouse, starts to escape, and this giant pile of bones kind of appears next to you, Tabby, as it crawls out of this tube, and roars as it comes out of it. You're not sure with what vocal cords, but it makes a very loud and terrifying noise. And
Ratberg!
Pockus, it is your turn. Uh-oh, you're muted, dear.
I said, finally, a worthy foe! This fight will be legendary! As soon as I get rid of these surefly. total of 14.
For the little ones, yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. For 6 damage on the
Okay.
one in front of me.
Yep. It's still standing.
That's it. For a total of 15
15 to hit, yeah, that'll hit.
on this one. No, let's just finish it. For this one for 14 damage.
And that little guy goes down.
And I'm going to risk an opportunity attack to come to Tabby's side.
Okay. This thing lunges at you, and it rolls a 2.
Fancy, finish off that one. I shall deal with the big guy. And that
Okay.
concludes my turn.
Alrighty. So, let's see. As you run away from these rats, or the rat that's left and all the bones that are here, it tries to run after you and tries to take another bite of you here. And that's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Another 5 points of bitey damage.
Down to 2 for rage.
Yep. And then the radicalism takes its first turn. And since you are closest to it, Tabby, and it saw you first, it's going to go ahead and try to fight you.
He is currently hiding at the moment.
Yes, but he was hiding from the Necromeowncer
gotcha.
on the other side of the tube. I got this. I promise.
No problem.
Yeah. Unless there's something to hide behind, like you can't really hide in the middle of a room, right?
I didn't realize
Oh.
somebody was going to come out of that tank that I was hiding near.
That is correct.
That is fair.
D&D, it is a fun game. So as this radicalism comes out and roars just at the room, it goes to take a bite of you here. And that's a 19 on the dice plus 6, so 25 to bite you.
Does hit.
However, you guys broke enough orbs that it's a D8, not a D12.
Hey!
Ooh.
And that was a 1 on that D8, so that is 5 points of damage.
Oh, Tabby will play dead.
Perfect. And that is the Radicalism's turn. And then we're back at the top with Salmon and Fancy Feast.
On the
Okay.
off chance that the Necromeoncer is controlling the radicalism, I'm going to go ahead and go up 5, 10, 15.
Okay,
And I'm going to attack first with my short sword.
perfect.
That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'll bonus action unarmed strike.
Okay.
13 to hit.
13 on the Necromeouncer just hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 4 points of damage.
He's not looking so hot. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to hold my position.
Okay. Then Fancy Feast, what would you like to do?
Yeah, Fancy Feast agrees with Pacus and will indeed try and take out this remaining rat that harries them.
Mm-hmm.
With a 10 adjusted.
A 10 to take out that remaining rat.
To hit.
That'll hit.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome. The dice finally rolled under a 12, the one that's been nice to me. Speaking of 12 points of force damage.
12 points of force damage. You managed to take out that last rat that's been a bane in your side.
Awesome. And he
okay.
will call out to taunt the Necromeoncer and say, "You think that we will be an exquisite meal for your radicalism, but it is us who will be doing the devouring."
Adorable. That's awesome. Tabby, you are up with the Necromeoncer behind you.
Am I engaged with
Yeah, you're base to base with the radicalism.
radicalism? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he engaged with Paucus, I think it is?
Yes, as well.
So I can get sneak attack on him.
Yes.
I throw a dagger.
Okay.
15 to hit.
That.
I'm sorry, 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So this is the dagger with sneak attack. 10 damage on the first strike.
Mm-hmm.
With my bonus action, I lash out with the other dagger
Mm-hmm.
for 6 damage.
Okay. How much did the other dagger? What was your throw on the other dagger?
10 damage.
Did you throw to hit it, or roll to hit
I don't think I did.
it?
23 to hit.
That'll hit. Another. What'd you say? 6 damage.
6 damage.
There we go. Perfect. So pop. What else would you like to do with your turn?
I am gonna stay there.
Okay. Alrighty. So, at the end of your turn, it is the Necromeoncer's turn. They are going to go ahead and yell. Nope, it's not going to do that. They're going to take a look at Salmon standing in front of them, the only one that they can currently see, and bestow curse. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, okay. Okay. That
Wow.
is an 18.
It is a 19. Oh, you save.
18.
Oh, that's still, it's better than 16. That's the important part.
Ooh, okay.
So as you feel this necromantic energy come out and try to take a hold of you, you're able to shake your head a little bit, and as you pull your ears back and keep from succumbing to this curse. And seeing that it failed, the Necromeoncer he starts yelling at you. That is the wrong page. You may have finished my minions, but you'll not destroy me! And he starts running. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If you want to take an attack of opportunity, you were
Yes.
face to face with him.
Yes, please.
Go for it.
Okay. 19 to hit?
That is. And you don't have anything that would keep him from running, right? You don't have sentinel
No, I don't
or
have
anything?
sentinel or anything.
Okay.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. He stumbles a little bit as he runs away from you. But yeah, he looks like he's running. Then it is Paucus's turn with the radicalism on deck.
Do I see the Necromancer coming around?
Not quite yet, because the radicalism's in the way.
Okay.
Oh no, I touched my whiskers. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Alright,
My
I'm gonna
face is itchy
shimmy
because I
over
can't touch
here.
it now.
Would this be considered flanking?
Sure.
Okay.
Your balance is going to be off now, Liz.
I know. Just tilt my head. all the
Okay.
time.
Great attacks with advantage. For a
Okay.
total of 18.
18. That'll hit.
For a total of 12 damage.
12 damage.
And my bonus action to strike again into my frenzy.
Okie dokie.
15.
15 just hit.
For a total of 11. I'm sorry, I forgot to add the rage damage. So a total of 4 rage damage from both attacks, plus 11 from the second attack.
So another 19. So is 8 plus 11? Make me do actual math. Okay. Ooh, this thing is not looking hot. It is bloody, damage, sad, less than half its hit points.
Alright. As I try to flank this creature, do I now see the Necromeowncer?
Yes, you can see the Necromeoncer.
Damn it! Fancy! Watch for the Necromancer. He makes be making a break for it. And that concludes my turn as I yell out to Fancy.
Okay. And as the radicalism takes damage from you, it kind of lumbers around and is not happy to have taken that damage and will turn around and try and bite you as well. And that is a 15 plus 6 is 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and it's a d8, so I don't have that average in front of me. So it's 8 points of damage.
Down, reduced to 4 because of rage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I don't think I've hit you guys very much. How are you guys doing on health?
I'm under half health.
Okay,
I've been getting the maximum value out of my rage.
gotcha.
Just but a scratch.
I'm only down 1 based on the temporary hit points we got earlier.
Good, good. And just a reminder that you all have a health potion at least.
I remember it. I
Yeah.
added it to D&D Beyond.
Perfect. Alrighty. So, the Radicalism's turn. It is Salmon and Fancy Beast's turn.
Fancy Feast would like to kind of clamber down and then clamber back up onto this rock to get a better view.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a clear view now of both the Radicalism and the Necromeouncer. And he'll look at the Necromeouncer and say, "Running away, are we? Oh, that is poor sport indeed." And I'll fire off an Eldritch Blast. Shocker. I kid you not, dice cam, natural 20.
And that is
Yes.
nice.
Totally different
Nice.
dice. Brought to you by Ice Cream Dice.
Hey, they're good dice, and they're so pretty.
They're so pretty.
You've been
Okay.
spitting 20s like it's nobody's business.
Whew. Not my normal luck. I am not complaining. Okay. Well, Feast and Famine, a 1 and a 9. So 16 points of force damage to the Necromeouncer.
Ooh. Ooh. How do you react to being so sad? Okay. Oh, you hit him square in the chest, and he is not doing well. That is for certain. So, Salmon, I think it's your turn with Tabby on deck.
I'm gonna close the distance. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Are you just going to follow the Necromeoncer around the corner?
And I'm gonna try to cut him off because I realized that as a monk I can do 40, so 35, 40.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'm gonna short sword attack.
Okay.
That is an 18 to hit,
The 18 hits.
and that is 6 damage.
Okay.
Bonus action unarmed strike.
Go for it.
Natural 20. 25.
That hits. Double your damage or double your dice, whichever you'd like.
8 points of damage.
So it was 4 total, or did you double your dice?
It was 4 total.
Okay, so 8 total. Oh man. So as you round this corner, and you cut off the Necromeouncer, this is the first time you've seen actual fear in his eyes as you stab or slice with your sword.
The second one was a punch.
Yes, but did you stab or slice
Oh.
with your sword?
Probably like a slice. Quick slice punch.
So as you come around the corner, almost in slow motion for him, you have your short sword out and slice along his ribs while simultaneously punching him in the eyeball and making him blind on one side, causing him lots and lots of pain and damage. Tabby, it is your turn, I think, right? Salmon, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, Tabby, it is your turn.
Can I
Tabby.
move around the Ratbird to get line of sight on the Necromeoncer while staying within range of him so as to not provoke an opportunity attack?
Absolutely, you can do that.
Can I bonus action hide behind Paucus?
Sure.
Okay. 25.
That beats his passive perception of 16? Absolutely. He does not see you come around that thing.
I'm going to take my crossbow out, and I'm going to fire at the Necromeoncer.
Go for it.
21 to hit.
Oh boy. All right.
That's a d6 plus sneak attack. 15 to hit, 15 damage.
15 damage. How do you want to do this?
Drawing back the bow, he will say, nobody meows in my backyard, and hit straight and true.
As the Necromeoncer falls, you hear the radicalism roar behind you. And even though one problem seems to be taken care of, you still have one left. Is that your turn?
Can I use an object for free?
Sure.
I throw the pie in the radicalism's face.
Perfect. So not only is the radicalism this homunculus of bones and sinew and different and various creatures, already grotesque and slightly moldy, it is now covered in pie. Paucus, it is your turn.
All right, let's do this. I am going to reckless these attacks because I want to finish the thing. Oh, that was botched. 15?
15 just hits.
For a total of 14 damage, plus 2 from rage, I remember, so 16.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
That'll hit.
For a total of 14 damage, including the rage damage.
Okay. And that includes your 2 rage damage?
Yes, I corrected myself each time.
Okay. Perfect. So
I am just cat blender right now on this thing.
So as you reach out and hit it twice with your great axe, You're cutting this thing to pieces, taken off a leg, taken off a hand. It is literally a stiff wind would blow it over. And knowing that it's going to take one more bite attack at you, which is a
At advantage.
at advantage.
Yep, I'm reckless.
Okay, so that is a 21 to hit you.
That hits.
And that'll be 7 points of damage.
Down
And
to 4.
Yep. And it can't even run away. So Salmon and Fancy Feast, what are you doing now?
Fancy Feast will call out to Tabby and say, I appreciate the spectacle, but I'll be honest, I was looking forward to eating that, my friend. And he'll kind of lay down and get comfortable. And that's his turn.
Salmon, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move right up to it. Try to attack it.
Go for
Short
it.
sword. 6.
6 will miss.
Yeah, I figured.
Gonna try to punch
Unarmed strike. Yeah, 21.
it. That'll hit.
And that is 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. It had 2 hit points left. How do you want to do this?
Just gonna try to punch in just the right place so that all the bones go crumbling everywhere.
So as you come up, you feint with your sword so that it gets super distracted by the shiny thing. And pop, pop, you take your paws and are able to dismantle whatever was holding it left together. Alrighty. And
Finally seeing the creature fall, he collapses onto the floor and suffers a level of exhaustion. Frenzy does have its drawbacks.
There you go.
Rather dramatic of you, friend Paucus. Wasn't that strenuous of a fight?
Ugh, when you
Are
give
there
it your all,
Are there any bits of pie left to be salvaged from the corpse?
You could certainly try. That is not my first thought whenever I throw pie at somebody is will I eat it afterwards? So if you would like to eat some pie, you are more than welcome to.
No, it was their ultimate demise.
I'm hungry, not desperate.
So as a hush falls over this last little bit of the Necromeoncer's lair, you guys are able to pocket away as many gems and gold pieces as your pockets can hold, up to 125 gold worth. And what would you like to do?
I say, is this this vat of chemicals? Does it seem to be still active, or could it still be resurrected, if you catch my meaning?
Yeah, so maybe roll me an arcana.
16?
16. So even with that's actually pretty good for not having any magical knowledge over there. So as you're taking a look at this vat that the radicalism climbed out of, you think that with a little bit of tinkering and a lot of know-how, it could be brought back to use. But also, given your proclivities for destroying things, you believe that you could destroy enough of this laboratory setup that it would be deemed completely unusable by anyone in the future.
Could enact some tinder and some oil
there's plenty of chemicals and grossness to light any kind of fire and or destructive tendencies as you'd like here.
What say you, cat brethren? Shall we burn this place to the ground, or?
Works for
I would
me. I also
prefer
want
to
to
all
just
things.
to, as a extra precaution to prevent this from happening again, slash the remaining cords or pipes that like lead to the vat.
Yeah.
Are these like the previous orbs on each side that we've previously dealt with?
Oh, so that's just part of his laboratory. And as you're peering into those orbs, you're welcome to smash them as well. The mist within them appears to be fading as the proprietor of that magic is no more.
Leave nothing behind to not cause a repeat of what we just dealt with.
Yeah.
And he raises his great axe, still able to strike true.
What was the gold thing in the Necromeoncer's mouth?
Oh, it was just a chalice that they were using.
Okay. Like for a focus or just ritualistic?
To be completely honest, it was the rogue cat picture out of the book that I borrowed for the
Awesome.
Necromeoncer. And if you would like it to be one of the gem encrusted items that you carry out of here, I would be okay with that.
Sure.
Generally
Fantastic
non-magical.
Did we see amidst all the carnage any sign of strapping young shiny armored John or Catherine?
So as you guys are leaving your way back through, go ahead and roll me an investigation check as a group or individually, whatever.
Let's
Makes the most
say a
sense to you.
group
I can help.
more efficient.
10.
16.
And are those with a
Ugh. 8.
8, 10, 16, and 8. And so with that, between the four of you and the assistance of Salmon, you're able to, as you're peeking through, you not only you additionally find extra gems and gold pieces as you guys are leaving the catacombs here, and you find another 250 gold pieces
Whoa.
throughout the catacombs in gems and gold pieces. But yes, you are able to find in the room with the arms and that giant skull at the top of those stairs. You're able to get behind that machine and see where those two had gotten entangled with the machine, and unfortunately were unable to get out.
Or at least we should get them untangled.
Yes.
We have avenged you, noble heroes. That was an admirable effort.
Going to dump out my 2 pounds of oil in a sort of pathway to the front of the cave, all the way to the back of the cave as much as I can. And as we're exiting, I'll light it on fire with my tinderbox.
Perfect. So the laboratory has been destroyed. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
I will be helping carrying the knight in shining armor. Would he happen to have a weapon on him by chance?
He does. He's a broadsword.
I'll bring it with me just out of respect.
I'm gonna leave a message in Thieves' Cant on the outside of the laboratory, and I'm gonna say cleared in
Perfect.
parentheses.
Perfect. I love it. Is there anything else that you guys would like to do between? Are you going back to town? I guess I should ask.
At least let them know that things are taken care of.
Alrighty.
I believe there was a reward.
Sure was. So, as you guys move back through the forest, you see an immediate effect as the necromantic energy starts to dissipate. Um, Not so that the earth will take time to heal, but you start to see small signs of life again. You do get distracted by a squirrel on the way back to town. And as you
Roll for
pass,
initiative.
yeah, that's right.
If I have to roll the
As
initiatives, I'm going to use my bonus action to drink a pot. I'm down to 10 health.
And as you guys pass Margie Sue's house, she kind of waves at you with a knowing smile, and you're able to get back to the main tavern, town hall, mega building, and talk to the mayor, claim your reward, and spend a wonderful evening in festivities and drink, or however you'd like to spend your festivities.
With some of the 375 gold, I'd like to buy up another pie.
So
Was that 250 each, or was that split?
we can have 250 each because unless some magic happens and there's a second game, it makes no difference how much gold you
Oh, I wasn't sure.
We can do 250 each. I'm good with that.
All right.
A very nice pie.
Yeah. There'll have to be a part 2 when we take down Margie, Sue, the Lich Queen.
We certainly can.
I was like, what's she hiding?
I mean, you'll just never know. So Umbrella Pants is still too much. That song was called Umbrella Pants by Kevin MacLeod. So all the music tonight has been brought to you by Tabletop Audio and Kevin MacLeod, and Compotech Film Music. Please go look at his stuff. It's all royalty free. It's all amazing. You just have to tell people where you got it from. So here I am telling you all night. Kevin MacLeod. And his stuff is amazing. So I'm gonna go to something a little peppier as we outro here. So congratulations, you guys defeated the Necromeoncer. He was about to dimension door his ass out of there because he was trying to run away from you.
I am so glad I called out to Fancy.
Yeah.
That clutch nat 20.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. I didn't want to metagame that.
I was just trying to make good calls to my teammates. I may not be a leader, but I'm pretty good at guiding.
No, that was awesome. Thank you, everyone who's cheered with bits and donated tonight. I think we've hit a $200 landmark for what if I can do math here. What are we up to? We're past $200, aren't we? No, 215, 216. I think we're just past $200. That means that at some point we'll do a giveaway with a shirt from Here to Stay, done by Brito. She's an amazing artist, and it's cool. You can go find it on So Nerdwear. It's a t-shirt or other swag if you don't want a t-shirt, but we'll make sure that we know how to. Thank you for the anonymous cheer who made that an even number. I appreciate you so much. And we'll make sure that we get that giveaway started so that we can add that. I think we're running this through Monday, so if you want to donate, you can continue to do so, and we will continue adding goodies to that giveaway. Swords Fall merch and magical girls and mechas. I think POCTTRPG has a t-shirt in there, and if we magically hit $1,000 while we're doing this, I will run a Dungeons and Doggies, a Cats and Catacombs hybrid one shot for a group of people if they want. So here we are. Um,
And
But
that
yeah,
made it odd.
yeah. So you guys are amazing. Anyway, so less about that. Thank you for donating. Asada's Daughters is definitely a great place to donate to. Thank you, players, for being here. This was so much fun. You guys are amazing.
This has been a privilege as someone who's been going many weeks without playing D&D. It's quite refreshing to get my mind off things and have a good time.
Oh, good. Glad we can do that. So let's go around and we'll go the opposite direction this time. We'll start with Star. Who are you? Where can I find you? What should we know about your amazing things going on in your life?
Sure, I'm Star. You can find me on Twitter at MadRadStarChild. I sometimes stream video games myself. I'm also in some Pride games coming up. A game of Masks that's going to be kind of a series with a rotating cast on Mythic Grove. And then another one-shot called Gamer Girls that's about magical mermaids on Friends Who Roll Dice.
All right, Shad, what about you?
Hi, my name is Shad or Shadamura. I go by same moniker on Twitter, no spelling difference. I hope to participate more in the DB community for more one-shots. I look forward to it if possible. I'm a small-time map maker for my group. If you ever need a little help, just let me know and I wouldn't mind chipping in.
Thank you. And we've seen his maps out on our Discord. They're awesome. So, Jeff?
Yeah, hi, I'm Jeff, Cold Brew Crit on Twitter and Discord. I am a player on the still on hiatus, hasn't yet launched actual play podcast, The Wayward Dice Pod. Soon, TM. Not sure when exactly, but yeah, I am around.
And last but not least, Chris.
Hi guys, I'm Chris Tep Sings. You can catch me on Twitter and SoundCloud at Chris Tep Sings. Tonight was my very first Twitch stream, so thank you so much for Liz for making this all happen. And I want to, of course, give a shout out to my old pal Matthew Foreman, who helped get me into D&D last year because of your wonderful channel Dice Priori. And if you want to follow my career as a singer and an actor, please like me on Facebook at ChristopherTeft.official or on my Twitters.
Yay. So go follow them. They're all amazing. Donate where you can. If you can't donate, share the posts of the people who are looking for donations for Black Lives Matter and all of the charities that are helping with that, whether it's a bail fund, an itch bundle, the Asada's Daughters. It doesn't matter. Get out there. Go help. Be amazing. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy out there. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Alexis, you're going to have him back as a bard to hear him sing. I mean, we're just going to volunteer him for that. I don't know him well enough to volunteer him for things, but here we are. So, is there any last parting shots, or are we good for the night? I think we're good for the night. You guys have a beautiful evening. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all. And have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Oh, we should raid somebody. Let's see. Casanova Hots is up if we want to go raid one of our players from a different channel.
Cronin is also up, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. So go raid. Give him our love.